So just following on with our series of tax saving videos, the next thing I want to cover really is the family unit and how we can utilise our family for tax efficiency. Now, in the earlier example, we sort of refer to a husband and wife team who are typically 50-50 shareholders within the company. Now, that's the sort of sweet spot of client we work with. So relatively successful husband and wife team with, say, 5 to 10 staff. Now, if you roll that back a little bit and think of the evolution of that business, so it could be you've had somebody who was employed, they've decided they want to go alone, started off as a sole trader or as a sole director of their company. As they start to make money, once they start to make more than £50,000, they're at high rates of tax. So that's when they want to start thinking, well, is it time for my spouse to join the business? Now, for instance, if your spouse or partner does not work at all, she could be paid a salary of £12,500. Obviously, that salary's got to be fit for market rate for what she's doing. So, they could be brought in to do admin, marketing for the business, help planning, managing, manage and run the office, etc., that type of thing. So that would be the first part of it. And then you could obviously think that as the business grows and their role grows within the business, you can then pay them up to £50,000 without paying high rates of tax. So that's, like I say, that's the first part of the business. So once you're above that, you're going to look at shareholders, but I'll cover that in a future video. The next thing I want to think of is kids. Now, if you've got sort of adult children who you're going to have to fund to universities, now university is very expensive. Typically, you're going to have to rent accommodation for them, they're going to need living allowances, etc. And you don't really want them to leave university with massive debts. So, but also you don't want to have to take all the money out of your company to then give it them to keep going. So it is possible that if they can fulfill a role within the business, that you could pay them a salary legitimately from the company. Now, again, the salary has got to be fit for the role they're doing. It's got to be a market rate salary. So, for instance, if your kids are tech savvy, they could maybe do your marketing for you, run your social media, and they can do that remotely from university. So then, again, you could pay them a small wage, appropriate to that role from the company, which, it's going to reduce the profits in the company, saving tax in the company, but it also means that you haven't got to then take that money out and fund them the lifestyle out of your pocket. And again, it could be that, when they're on holidays, summer holidays, etc. from university, they maybe just come in and do a more fulfilling role within the business. So again, the same rules apply. £12,500 up to £12,500 tax free. Must be a valid role in market rate salary, but certainly something worth something to consider if you don't want your kids to leave university with huge debt, or you run up huge debts funding them at university. So it's quite an efficient way of doing it. Certainly something to think about. Thanks, Noel.